The life you've just built is fading away. Maybe it's not even fading away in the real world, but it's fading away internally. You no longer identify with it. You no longer feel passionate about it. And you're not knowing what's going on. Maybe you do, and maybe at the same time you're rejecting it, and you're feeling a loss of identity. This is something that has been so potent for me because it's something I've lived through and I've had to do a lot of self-discovery work and integration work over the years to actually navigate out of it and get to a place of a more integrated self that is now helping other people do the exact same thing. And today I want to share with you a story of my life that maybe hopefully you can relate to, and maybe you can take something from it that can actually help you reimagine this moment and reinterpret it and actually get excited and ignited about the next thing in your life. You see, for me, I was obsessed about being a world champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm a black belt now, and I've been training for total 13 years. It's been a long time, and it was something I've put my whole life into. I didn't party. I didn't hang out with girls as much. Didn't really do anything other than train, eat, sleep, and study. That was it. Did that for years. And there came a day where I woke up and said, I don't want to do this anymore. And it wasn't a willing, I don't want to do this anymore. This was I am not liking what I'm feeling. I want to not feel what I'm feeling, but I have no choice. It's here now. This was 6 years after fully committing to this. And it left me in ruins. I didn't know what to do, who I was, where am I supposed to go. I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I felt like I let down, not just myself, but the people around me. And it was a long period of loneliness. I felt like I couldn't relate to anybody. Every time I talked to someone, it didn't land on them in the way that I felt would resonate and we can go back and forth with and communicate about it. So it was a very lonely period. Fast forward to today, when I reflect back as to why, I've had certain things in my life, why that happened. I was running from something. I was running from an old story, or I should say I was trying to run away from an old story. The old story was that people will forget about me unless I do something big, unless I win something, become something. That, I was bullied heavily as a kid, and that the story was I got bullied for some reason. Something about me wasn't good enough. And it was a mixture of wanting to prove myself, but also wanting to get revenge. I wanted to dominate these people. Eventually they became phantoms, just ghosts in my mind. And that's what ends up happening to a lot of us too. They become ghosts. They're not really there anymore. They're not in your life anymore. But they yet somehow feel around you all the time. And I had to beat them. And I had to let them know that I beat them. So I was very angry, very bitter. And as time went on, during that period, my soul and ego split off. When before I was a very naturally integrated person, I always felt like I wanted to tackle things from within, unpack, leave no stone unturned in my unconscious mind, bring it to the forefront, contend with it, and live more authentically. But I didn't for a while. It was painful. And then eventually, as I tried to get help, tried to get therapy, read a lot of books on self-help and psychology, until I sort of formulated my own little process that worked really well for me, and I'm now beyond excited to share with other people and the clients that I work with. But as I realized that the death of this old story was not the death of everything. In fact, it was a moment of evolution, a process of old psychology to new psychology. You see, I was in the child psychology state where I was frustrated, wanting things to flow upstream to me. Why aren't they liking me? I've won all these medals. People should just respect me now. This is frustrating. And at the same time, I had another energy that said, but that's not how we should live our lives. We should be more humble than that. We should seek something different than just this, than just vanity and metrics and numbers. And I was wrestling with it, but at the time, this was stronger. The thing that said, no, we got to prove these people wrong. So it dominated a lot of my life. And so when I unpacked it, contended with it, and again, the three things that you do when it comes to trauma work and looking into the past and the unconscious mind, you want to let go of old stories, integrate the parts that work, and then reinterpret, reimagine your life moving forward. You see, old stories, we embody them, they become a part of us, and we feel we can't let it go because that's who we are. But it's not who you are. It is an aspect of you. It's a moment in your life that happened, but it is not you entirely. But there are things within it that you can integrate. Perhaps there are just parts of you that just are silly and goofy and awkward, clumsy. And working towards accepting that, not rejecting an aspect of you. And then at the same time, maybe the past, the trauma, the pains has brought upon discipline, consistency, work ethic. That feeling that I had to chase this title has made me more disciplined, made me more vigilant and aware of things, aware of my surroundings, helped me understand how to set goals and targets. It helped me do so many things. And so once you integrate all those aspects, now I can reimagine my life moving forward in its next evolution, which is what I'm doing for you right now. Helping others integrate, rebuild purpose, rediscover who they truly are. It is something that has been calling as divine purpose. And I know how that sounds, but it's just what I feel and what I believe. And I believe also that you can do the same. When you work to let go of old stories and you allow it to be a moment of opportunity for rebirth, you are moving to a higher plane, a plane of a more integrated self. You see, those moments where old stories get shaky is an opportunity to tackle them, to confront them, bring them to the foreground as challenging as they are. And I have all sorts of practices and strategies that we can actually do that, to bring it forward and contend with it. Because this is somewhat of a theory currently, but I'm under the belief of it a little bit more because it's what's happening to me and I'm witnessing it happen to my clients. As you integrate, unpack everything, and have all three channels in harmony, the past, which is your shadow, the present, which is obviously the day-to-day, and the future, which is the vision for your life. When all three are in harmony, no rejection, acceptance, understanding, compassion, but direction and purpose. When all three are aligned, then you feel a foreign power. And I had one of my clients say, it stuck with me when he said, now that we're doing this and I'm feeling more consolidated psychologically and emotionally, and I'm feeling more integrated, I'm feeling the sense of energy come from within, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I did this or if I'm also having something foreign come in. What a beautiful thing, he said, because that is what I felt, and we can't even word it, but the best way we can describe it is through feeling. I felt what he said and vice versa. Step 1, integrate, make it a lifestyle. And step 2, purpose, higher purpose will come to you after that. Because when the past is undealt with, it warps the present and it warps the future. You feel you're always wandering, never fully satisfied. That was my life. No matter how many medals I won, I've won over 40 titles, 80% of them being gold. Never satisfied. I had to win again and again. It was like a black hole. When you're unintegrated, it's a black hole. You consume no amount of money, no amount of cars, nothing. It just feels unsatiable. Versus an integrated lifestyle. You feel complete simply by the act of doing it, by the act of integration itself will make you feel whole, will give you endless energy. And of course, you'll be guided towards a purpose. Everyone has their own. I'm not here to tell anyone to have not my vision at all, but it will come to you. And when you see it, when you experience it and you feel it, you know exactly where to go. So I hope this helped something. Hope this maybe ignited within you a spark that you know was there, and to understand that the old stories that fade is not bad. It is the opportunity for a new you to emerge. It's an amazing opportunity. If you want to be a part of my community where we go more into detail about all these things, and you want to join, click the button below. It'll send you over to my website, sign up to my monthly newsletter, and I'll send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. It's a way to help you navigate through your identity loss and identity crisis. And on top of that, the monthly newsletters will be talking about my rule of 3, which is all about integration and rebuilding purpose and rediscovering who you truly are. So it's a community I wish I had. I really wish I had when I was going through my identity loss and didn't know what I had to do and where I had to go and who to talk to. So it brings me great pleasure and meaning and purpose to pass it over to you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.